talks and presentations this week, because when we think of Christmas, you're not thinking of a card with some nice words in. You are. Some people are expecting a gift. They probably draw up a wish list and let everyone know, this is what I want for Christmas. I want those diamond earrings.
I think people right now, because of what's happening, I think they have a little bit of a calm down expectation, and they're setting realistic expectations, because if they don't, they end up having a letdown. I believe that if somebody cares enough about the person to find out what their real values are and what they really want, and prioritizes their gifts to give something that's really meaningful, they can get by on less cost and more meaningfulness. And I think that's what's happening right now. There's no doubt that people are going to want the earrings, and if we can get the earrings and we can afford it, then it's fabulous. But I think that it's wise to prioritize and make sure that there's the heart. I think that's the real essence of Christmas is the heart. And I think that when people have a financial situation, they have to prioritize what they're doing. And they have to also set realistic expectations.
So what would your tips be heading into the mall today and wanting to splash out, wanting to spend, knowing that you don't really have that extra bit of cash to splash out? How should our viewers be controlling themselves or restricting themselves as not to spend, not to charge it on account, not to charge it on the credit card?
Well, some people will put it on their card, and if that's the case, then they'll have to take the immediate gratification will be compensated for the long-term payments. But again, it's back to the priorities. I think that what they're going to have to do is they're going to have to make sure that they really get narrowed down to what the really most important gift they can do and spend their money wisely and care. And if they want to take the risk of putting a little extra effort into doing that, I think it pays off. I think that people understand right now, and I think that's the wisest thing we can do. And I don't think it's wise to go way overboard and then put yourself into finances, because the pleasure of giving that becomes then the torture of having to pay that off in the period. It's wiser to do it. And I do believe that there's things you can do that are meaningful, that are not as costly. They're just as meaningful. The earrings don't have to have the big diamond rings. They could be a moderate diamond ring.
You did mention that Christmas is all about the heart. It's all about the giving. But how can you not let your finances creep into that or control your financial, your emotional well-being?
Well, everybody, again, wants to receive according to their values, and it's caring about them and their own values. I believe right now, even though we have just weeks to go, I think that if we put our efforts into really doing extra service to people, we may be able to earn some extra money between now and then. I would actually focus on that right now, doing whatever you can to look for needs and find ways of serving people in their needs and generate income, extra income, in addition to prioritizing their actions and their expenditures. I think in the process of doing that, they're going to come out with a greater Christmas. And this, again, the Christmas spirit is about, thank you, I love you, more so than I got
a big present.
We think it's that, but really the bottom line is if somebody feels that they're appreciated and loved, they can get by on less of their things.
Very quickly, some tips for our viewers to gain financial success.
Well, even in these financial challenging times, I think it's wise to take a portion of whatever you make and set it aside. Because if you never save your money and have it start to work for you, you'll be working your whole life for money. When you start to manage money wisely, you receive more money to manage. And you have a higher probability of having more opportunities in your life because you have stability. And so I think no matter how much you make, it's wise to save a little portion of it. And see if you can't make your piggy banks become biggie banks in the process.
Thank you so much, Dr. John Demartini. That's all the time we have this morning. Well, human behavioral specialist Dr. John Demartini sharing his views on financial